This is the hardest window in the house. It's over a stairwell, and so pretty awkward to reach. Honestly, the hardest part of this window was figuring out how to reach it safely. Without buying expensive scaffolding or even renting it, we're trying to use what we have on hand, but we figured out that was just not going to work in this case. This took way longer to figure out than I would have liked. For a contractor, would have taken 10 minutes and just drawn a sketch. But most of our time so far has been thinking, measuring, and rethinking. Right here, this is what I couldn't wrap my head around: how to make a platform that the ladder would sit on. And once we measured this span, I knew we'd be buying some lumber. We've measured this many times and it just didn't register. So the most recent time was about a year ago. And with the measurements in hand, we started talking to my brother-in-law, the contractor. And so here's what he sketched up. And a quick note before I go any further, we're all adults. We did our research. This is what we've decided to do in our house. If your comfort level is different, go with your gut. This wood has been around the block. You can see it's pretty rough looking, but it's all sound. I use it in my garden to hold down my tarp, and it kind of outlines some of the borders at other times. So instead of doing just a three-sided support, I'm going to do a four-sided support. And my measurements are based on where I thought the support was needed on that 12 or 13-foot span. Using the deck screws, I'm gonna just put probably 2 screws on each side, and when I stand it up, I end up doing some more screws just to make sure that it's pretty solid, and it doesn't take that long. It's just a quick and easy job, but I will tell you guys, for women, these hand tools with the big batteries do get pretty heavy, and also, I'm somebody that just goes with what I've got right in front of me, so I didn't have my magnetic holder, the bit holder for the driver, so I can't tell you how many times that little screwdriver bit fell out. So now that we have these both done, we'll bring them outside and get started. This is pretty heavy. It's the wood is kind of wet, so this is me trying to lift it into place. Whoops. And I did make a error here, guys. I only measured in one place on this set of stairs, and on the right side of the screen, it's perfect, but on the left side, apparently these stairs have settled a bit, and it's about 3/4 of an inch too short on the left side. This big one that I'm putting in place right now is perfect. And because of the cap that's over the brick, the concrete cap, we are going to have to raise up the end of the stairs there where Rod is standing. And so, what we're going to do is kind of just create another step using some concrete blocks, a couple blocks here to make it nice and solid. I wanted to add one more, but there just wasn't room between where the railing started. So, this is where we've staged our wood. We'll get everything uncovered and get started. So the plywood and the 16-foot 2x10s, these are all going to be reused in another project that we've got to start here, hopefully later this year. And so, yes, it was expensive, but again, we're getting two uses out of it, so we could justify it. Here we are. We're going to slide these on. Rod's going to jump down there and get them over the humps here. And as this first board is set in place, just notice the support near him. You're going to see a shadow on the underside of that board, and that is the gap. You can see too, it's not catching it yet to hold it. It's still wobbly. Once we've got the first three boards in place, I'm going to get down here and we're going to put this 1-inch piece of pine just as a shim in here. And then the next one wasn't as big. I think I used a little 3/8 piece of plywood. And here's that last board going into place. It was a real tight fit on the left side due to it going underneath the railing with some additional plastic sheeting that I've decided to put over the wood. And here we are down below. We're going to use our sledgehammer, kind of knock this into place and make sure that it's square. And as we're traipsing up and down, I noticed on that last board there's a little bit of flex in it. So I'm going to use these our little pieces of a plastic blind, I think a vinyl blind, and use that to kind of fill the gap. And then all of this is going to be screwed from up above using our, oh, we had to check the level, obviously, on that other support. Here's Rod doing the first go around, and he feels it's pretty good. And then I get up there and do it just to make sure we're both comfortable on this DIY scaffold. And yep, we're good. And then I'm going to do 8 holes and 8 of those deck screws into the supports from up on top. You could certainly affix it more on the bottom up against the steps if you wanted to. We decided that just wasn't necessary. This is something I would change if I had thought of it. I would have spaced these boards out better across this 4-foot span, but I didn't think of it until it was too late. So on goes the plywood sheathing, and we'll just kind of get that centered under the window. And then we're going to tackle this little open part of our stairwell. And this turned out to be kind of a neat little thing where you use it to set things on as you're going up and down the stairs. It's not really meant to be walked on, although it is strong enough for that. But it's basically just to have something there so we're aware of where we're putting our feet when we're on this side. And we end up sheathing that with just some pieces of plywood we had down in the basement. And then the second little part of that is going to run from the piece that I'm putting down now over to the support we just made, the scaffold we just made. And I'm going to put some 2x4s, old 2x4s that I had already cut up underneath, running from that support that will just help hold that in place. And we'll put some screws in there too. And then this is just because we're going to be reusing this wood. I've got some 1 mil plastic sheeting that we're just going to put on this wood to kind of keep it in good shape. So when we're done with this window, it can go into the basement and just be stored till we're ready. Rod is going down below. He's going to help use the staple gun. And notice the step ladder. That's just our short step ladder. That's the best thing that we did in this whole project. Now we can get in and out of the basement quickly if we need to. And here we go. This is our other big purchase. This is something that we've needed. It's a 10-foot step ladder. It has a 14-foot reach so we can get to the top of this window. It's what I would feel safe using to do this project. So this really solved our access problem. It wasn't a quick fix. The build part was pretty quick, but the thinking about it part took a long time. But now that we've got this done, we can move on to the actual work on the window. Although we did kind of have a little hiccup with that too. More on that